Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with ddStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little treat bag using our new die cut, treat bag die cut. And this is a great die cut, or framelit, Thinlit. It comes with lots of different pieces. So these are the two pieces that actually make the bag. You can see how big that is. And then you have all these other extra pieces for decoration and for fun, even on your cards. And so you have an enjoy and a for you, a couple of banners. We're going to use this banner today too. A heart. And then also these are great just for doing like a border or something, or even just to take those as embellishments. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, I took a piece of designer series paper from the birthday bash set. And I love this pack of paper. You end up getting sheets with, these two are one-sided, but they have that foil look to them with the little flecks of gold in there. And then these are all double-sided. And so you get 12 by 12 sheets of that. You get 2 of each sheet. I took one of the sheets, I took this one here, and I actually cut it down to 6 by 12, and this is what I'm going to use to run through my big shot. So let me get my stuff out of the way here so I can bring in my big shot. So here's the big shot. Here's the book that goes in there, and then a clear plate, and then your paper. It's going to be on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my die and lay it on my paper, and you'll see how it lines up edge to edge. You want to make sure that when you're putting this through your big shot, you are totally square on that clear platform so that it'll clear that edge and go through. If you catch it, they've been known to bend, and it's just because you catch it on the edge of your big shot. So be careful when you're putting it through your big shot. Just make sure it's lined up right. Then I'm going to run it through. You might hear some cracking and creaking as it cuts. There's piece number 1. I'll pull that one off. And then I'm going to come in and do piece number 2. So I'm going to use that same sheet of paper, and this time I'm going to use the smaller of the 2 die cuts and line that one up there. And again, make sure it's on that piece of paper and on your clear guide so it's protected, and then run that through the machine. And then when I take this apart, I've got the pieces of my bag. Now I am going to do one more piece of cardstock. Well, I'll come back. So once you've got your bag done, these are your pieces, and there's score lines on there. It's cuts and scores. And so you're going to just go ahead and score it, or fold it on those score lines. The one thing you do need to do is decide which side of the paper is going to be the outside of your bag. So I'm going to make this one orange with that blue on the inside. And then I'm going to take this piece here and make sure I got a good score line, and I'm coming in with sticky strip. I love sticky strip for holding things, boxes and bags together, because it really holds well and it's not hard to use. You just have to line that up, trim that off the edge, and let me give you a little tip on your sticky strip. Just make sure that you burnish it on that red line tape, and then this will come off fairly easy. And you get some static cling, so we'll just throw that off on the floor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in with this piece, and I want it to lay, so I want it to be flush on this side along this edge. And so I'm just going to line that up. Like that. And there's one edge of your bag, and then I'll seal it in the back. So again with the sticky strip, length of the bag, burnish it, pull Pull that off, fold that over. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a little bit more sticky strip along this bottom flap and add that on there across the bottom. Burnish it a little bit so that that comes off easily and fold that up over. And there you have your bag. Really quick, and they're really cute with the Designer Series paper. So this will be a great little gift bag to give some treats in. Now I'm going to go ahead and decorate it, and I'll show you how I did that. I'm going to come in with a piece of, this is just the Whisper White cardstock. Cut, I think it's 2 1/4. And I'm going to come in with some Bermuda Bay. And again, I'm going to use the Balloon Bash stamp set. This is a photopolymer set, so you can actually see exactly where you're stamping. Pull the stamp that I want off. Attach it to my block, and then I'm going to go ahead and ink it. And one of the things I like to do when I use the photopolymer is I come in with my paper piercing mat. It just gives a little bit of cushion, makes it a little bit easier to get a perfect impression. And once you've done that, I'm just going to stamp this on, and you will be able to see it when you're stamping it as it goes across and the ink hits that paper. You don't want to rock it, you just want to make sure you stamp it, pull it up. And then on this one, I went ahead and, I'm going to do that later because I want to show you how I did it. So there's one. Then I'm going to clean this stamp, and I'm going to stamp it again. I'll use this piece. This time I'm going to stamp it in Calypso Coral. Bring in my paper piercing mat. Oops, that's my scrubber, sorry. Bring in my paper piercing mat. Stamp that down. You notice I went off the edge. It doesn't matter because I'm going to go ahead and trim out, fussy cut, this HB label. And it's not going to be perfect, it's just going to be quick. And this is actually going to go onto this with a dimensional. Right over the top of the stamp, that image that's already there. And so that's starting the tag that I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a piece of scrap paper and that label die, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that label cut, and you can see it just makes a really good tag. It's going to come off the edge here. But what I want to do is I want to cut this into a tag, but I want it to have the same cut as this. So I'm just going to line that up there, hold it there, and then come in with my scissor and very carefully cut right along that edge. And then when I pull that off, that's going to go under there, and it just has the same angle. Just a pretty easy way to make your tags. Just give it a little bit more class. So there is that. There's your tag. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, just to dress this up a bit, I'm going to come in with just a small, tiny little paper clip. And right now, decorated paper clips are really they're big. It's a huge trend right now. So I just took this little scrap of paper that I had that coordinates with that, and I'm going to add some snail onto the back of that paper. And to make this easy, I'm just going to attach my clothespin on like that. And then I'm going to come in with a scissor and just trim right along the edge. Now this is just one of the ways that you can decorate up your paper clips, but you can also use washi tape. So there's just a quick paper clip to attach onto my bag. You can see how this is starting to come together. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in with some of our pom-pom trim. And a little bit of our sequin trim. I found it. I should actually take a picture of my stamp room right now so that you can see the actual mess that is behind the camera. It's unbelievable. I've had a little bit of fun the last couple of days planning some projects. So I just snipped a little bit of that sequin ribbon and some of our pom-pom trim, and I'm just going to actually put those together and clip them right onto with the clothespin. And then I see a couple of sequins that fell off, so I'm going to go ahead and use them because they come off easily. Stampin' Up! Did that on purpose so that they could come off easily and you could use them as sequins. And I'm just going to add a little glue dot to that and a sequin there, and it just jazzes that up just enough, but quick enough and easy enough to make a lot of them. I'll just do one. Anyway, cute. So this is the bag in the Calypso Coral, and this is the bag in the Bermuda Bay, and I just think they turned out adorable. They're exactly the same, although this one I used a little star sequin from the In Colors. But aren't they adorable? Love them. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't already done so, I will list the supplies that I used for these projects on the link to my website and down below in the description. And if you haven't already done so, you may want to sign up for my newsletter where you get lots of new ideas and techniques and fun stuff. So thank you and have a great day.